Hey, good morning. It's Todd in the garden. Hey, just back with an update here. I wasn't away another week, but I figure I did have some changes yesterday that I wanted to show you guys. I have some new plants here, and we'll start in the front here, actually in the corner here. This is some dianthus I had bought from Burpee's plants, and this is really the only one that survived for the most part. There's a little bit of the other ones left, but I think I may take them out because, well, I guess I'll leave this one. But the other ones have died. I had tried to find something to put in these four corners, like there, there, over there, and down there, but none of them seem to make it so far. These here are some mountain mint that my brother gave me last summer, and it looks like it's overwintered and is coming back here nicely, slowly. Here's my garlic bread. The beds, the row on the right here, is amended very well. I dug it up, added some good soil, added some compost, fertilizer. It's been mulched very well, and I had replaced all the just pure clay that was in there with much better soil and fixed it up nice. Kind of the second half there was just lawn last fall. All I did was just poke a hole with a bulb planter. This thing has just like a circular hole, and you just poke it down, pull it up, and it brings out a cylinder of soil. And all I did was then make a bunch of holes for the garlic, and then I threw in like a column of potting mix, and then threw the cloves in there. So that soil, and then mulch on top, of course. But the soil. Also, I forgot. Well, I did dig it up. I did throw in some of the stalks from my sunchokes last year, kind of like a hugelkultur principle. Just buried some organic material there. But for the most part, it's not as emitted as well, and I don't know if that's the difference or not. I'm assuming that's part of the difference, but you see the ones, I guess you can't really tell from the video here, but the row on the left is half the size of the ones on the right. I'll still get bulbs from them. Maybe they'll catch up and they'll just take a little longer, but they are noticeably smaller than the row on the right. You see in the row in the back there on the left is you see the ones that are much smaller. But anyway, it's the garlic. Two different varieties. And these are onions that I got from Burpee. This here row I actually only made this year. Yeah, this was lawn as well, and I barely even amended this at all. I just put the border down. I threw a couple bags of purchased garden soil, just from a bag, which I don't really like to do anymore. It's expensive, but I just wanted to do a quick amendment instead of digging it up. It's hard on my back anymore to dig so much, so I just wanted to dig a little bit, and I add some soil with that. And then these are onions here, Walla Walla onions from Burpee. They're not doing much, but it's been cool, so I'm not surprised. I assume once it heats up a little bit, gets over 60 or 70, that they'll take off. They're not dying, so they survived shipment. I was worried about buying plants, but since I don't do it that often, but they seem to be green. They're still green. They're not dying. So he said once the weather warms up, hopefully they'll start taking off. Get a little closer here. One like this one right here. See, it's nice and green there. Here I just threw some scallions or green onions, bunching onion seeds in there. They have not come up yet. They're under my anti-critter cages here that I got. They're just bins that I got from work. They were on clearance. And the squirrels don't seem able to get in there, so holes are big enough to let the sun in, but keep the squirrels out. All right, let's go this way. I threw some more of the onions along here. I don't know what I'm gonna keep here. It's on a slope, so unless it's mulched, the soil runs down, collects down the bottom here. I have a hard time getting anything really to grow. There's, like I said, it's on a slope. I haven't quite figured out what to do with that yet, but I don't know. And this is the reason why I'm doing the video. Yesterday, a neighbor down the street said I could use his front yard, and he didn't really care about the plants that he had in there. And he had a bunch of peonies or peonies. I'm not quite sure I'm supposed to be pronouncing that, but that I could dig up and have if I wanted. So I did. I know now is probably the worst time, not the best time, but probably the worst time to be moving them, a perennial like that. But I didn't want to risk forgetting about it or having him move and then not be able to get them. So I dug them up. A bunch of clumps. I think I have like a bunch of them. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have another one I didn't get around to planting last night. 9 clumps of those. So excited about those. They're a pretty flower. So when free plants, hey, can't complain, right? I also was able to get out some daffodils and some hyacinths. Hopefully I'll be able to get those in the ground this morning before they die off. Obviously they won't rebloom again this year, but hopefully they'll come back next year if I can find a spot to put them. Kind of run out of spots to put them. I might just use my bulb planter and throw them randomly in here, since they'll be done by the time any of these come up. Here's my purple coneflower that I started last year from seed that most people say would not bloom the first year, but it did. I may have to throw some slug bait down there. I see, looks like one of the leaves is chewed a little bit. I do have some of that slug bait, I think, left. I might throw it around there, give that a little protection. But you see, I mean, they didn't die. So I'm hoping they make it. And I know this first year they most likely will not bloom, and maybe not even bloom next year. But they're an established plant, so I'm hoping that maybe they're big enough and strong enough to bloom this, maybe even next year. Well, we'll see, right? And there's some hosses. Not really a future on them, but my wife likes them, so I've kept them in there. And I did notice yesterday that I hadn't noticed before. Under here is I have a lily that I forgot about, that I think the squirrels have chewed over and knocked over for a couple years in a row, and I don't think it's actually bloomed yet because it keeps some kind of critter keeps knocking it over. But yeah, you see how nice and thick that is. So that's going to be a nice flower. That's I'm giving it a little protection here for a while. I'll try to give it a little protection as long as I can with them in like cages or something. All right, let's go to the backyard. Not trip over the hose. You said not a whole lot going on, but I just wanted to get you to see the new additions that I got yesterday. Here's my trash can full of shredded leaves. Potatoes, I hear there's potatoes in that pot. There's 2 of them in that pot. There's more of the onions. You can see the progress of those. About 6-inch spacing, and then I guess between the rows might be closer to 10. Parsnips there's nothing in here right now, but parsnips are going in there, or carrots. I haven't decided which. I might put some in each. Parsnips and carrots, and then parsnips and carrots. All those pots are just filled with mulch right now. Let's see, around here is here's my walking onions, Egyptian walking onions. First year I'm trying them. I planted these in the fall. Come along nicely. We'll see how they turn out. I probably will not harvest. They said the first year don't harvest too many of them to make sure that the bulbs get a little more established. I'll just be harvesting the top sets probably, and maybe some of the leaves as we go. But we'll see how they do. I had on this half. I hadn't ordered enough when I wanted to make this whole bed originally, walking onions, and in this half over here, I realized I didn't order enough, because you see there's 8 up here, right here, and over this half I had to order some more. So under there, I just planted those literally yesterday, so I won't see those for a while. But then this whole area will be walking onions. So I hope to be able to maybe use them to make my own homemade onion powder. Dehydrate them, grind them up, and then dehydrate them and grind them up. That's my plan, anyways. Back here is more garlic. It doesn't seem to do. This is the second year row here. They don't seem to do as well as in the front yard for whatever reason. And this actually used to be where my compost pile was. So the soil under here has to be probably really good, but because there had been a compost pile there for quite a few years, but they don't seem to do as well. So this fall, this is going to be where my sunchokes are. Because my neighbor next door here is moving, and she had let me use her yard. That's over there on the other side of the fence. I had the sunchokes there last year, and I was going to plant pumpkins over there, but probably won't be able to do that now. So I'm just rearranging where I have things. So that's obviously going away. I'm going to put sunchokes here and the garlic. Now I added the second row out front. I don't need this row anyways. Anyway, this area here for garlic. So I'm also going to plan to make homemade garlic powder as well. And of course the garlic scape paste as well. But this here is going to be sunchokes come the fall. Well, over winter. I mean, it's after the garlic's done. I'm probably going to put tomatoes in here, I think. Yeah, tomatoes in here, and then possibly turnips or radishes, because I don't do the cold weather crops like turnips or radishes or anything like that in the spring. I usually do it in the fall, at the end of August, late August or whatever, early September, and I put them in, and then they're ready right around the first frost around Halloween. And then that's when I put my garlic in, and then put the sunchokes in. So I'm probably going to have garlic here, tomatoes. Hopefully I have enough time to get radishes or turnips like daikon, or even just your purple top turnips in there, hopefully, in the fall. And then this is going to be the permanent sunchoke patch, in addition to what sunchokes I have out front, which I forgot to film, but I have that up front. Here's going to be the ground cherries. Haven't tried them before, first year. They're going to go in there. They're still growing inside. And then here's my potato patch. Red Pontiacs. There's 8 of them in this bed, which is, I guess, probably about 4.5 by, 6? This area here. There's 8 in there. Probably could have planted them a little closer and got all 10 in here, but like I said, I wanted to try 2 of them in pots. I just like to have multiple locations for them. And over here, where it's just mulch and nothing really much yet, is going to be the sweet potatoes. It's kind of blocked by the fence here because the sun is going to go over there, and once it gets below that point here, the fence blocks it. But try the sweet potatoes here. I wasn't sure if I should have put the potatoes here or the potatoes here. I'm going to put them here, and the sweet potatoes will go here. This corner along the fence, even though it's shaded, is going to be edamame and beans, or just on edamame. Not quite sure, because I want to have beans somewhere. I may put beans out front after the garlic's done up front. I may put beans out there in that whole area, even when well, I guess the onions. See, I'm not sure when the onions will be ready. But hopefully maybe the onions will be ready, and I'll be able to put beans all on the front there as well, because it's a pretty quick crop. And in the fall, I'll be able to put in turnips and radishes or whatever, or some other cold weather crop I haven't tried before. But yeah, and like I said, here's going to be the carrots and turnips. Parsnips, which I've never tried before. I've done carrots. They did pretty well. I think I had carrots here and in pots as well. Like in this area, I've done carrots before. And I've also never done parsnips, though. All right, well, that's all there is to see out here. I will be bringing out my leeks. Oh, I forgot over here. I forgot to mention. Yeah, this area over here is going to be leeks. I am in the process of hardening them off. I'll probably get those out the week of Easter is my plan, because I'm off Easter, so I can have them out hardening off pretty well that day. And then Tuesday and Wednesday again of that week I'm off, so I'll be able to harden them off again. And then Thursday and Friday I don't go until late, so I'll be able to do a full hardening off that week, and then get them in maybe on Friday of that week. And that's my plan, to put the leeks in here. I should be able to put, I don't know, I mean, this is probably about 7, let me see, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, this is probably 6.5 by 2.5. I should be able to get in at least 2 dozen. I'm hoping maybe close to 30 in here. I have 50 seedlings or so, 45. Obviously, some of them might not be as great. When I do my outdoor update, my leek pansy update, when I bring them out, I'll let you know. But I think it's around 45 or so. So I should have enough, and then have some possibly do in some pots. But yeah, leeks will go here, and I guess that's it. They're still getting hardened off, so gonna stop the video. And it's a little cooler. It's in the low 40s, but I'm gonna bring the pansies and the leeks out and get them acclimated a little more to the outside. All right. Until next time, it'll probably be another week or so, unless I happen to add some additions. But another week or so, we'll see what happens.